At the beginning of the movie, we see a lost Rosie Dunn sitting pensively at a wedding. The heroine recalls the acquaintance with her best friend. With him, Rosie could share her dreams, chatted in classes, and enjoyed life. Alex Stewart was very fond of talking about dreams, and the heroine listened to him attentively. Rosie comes to her senses and begins to make a toast. The heroine assures that this is the happiest day of her life, although she herself sobbed on the way to the celebration. The action shifts to 12 years ago, on Rosie's 18th birthday. Together with Alex, the heroine dances, has fun at the bar, and has an incredibly fun time. The heroes unexpectedly start kissing. However, Rosie falls and loses consciousness. The heroine wakes up the very next day. Wrapped in a blanket, Rosie meets a friend and admits that she is very ashamed of yesterday. The guy is upset but tries to hide it. The boy says that his parents decided to punish him by forcing him to visit the library. Alex hopes that he will find entertainment there by socializing with Betty Williams. Rosie laughs, believing that she is too good for him. The friends jokingly argue and start goofing around. In the evening, Rosie and her buddy go to the beach. Soon the heroine is taken aside by a handsome guy named Greg. Alex notices this, is jealous, and tries to humiliate his rival in Rosie's eyes. However, the heroine reports that he invited her to the prom, but she refused Greg as she intends to go with a friend of hers. Suddenly, Bethany approaches them and flirts with Alex. The guy says that she obviously wants a prom invitation from him. Rosie offers to get her to go and is upset that Alex agrees. Then the heroine herself decides to go to the prom with Greg. The next day, Rosie texts with a friend during class. Alex makes a shocking confession. It turns out that he spent the night with Bethany. Before graduation, the guy comes to the heroine and is amazed by her great appearance. Alex drives Rosie to school, where she is picked up by Greg. During the dance, the heroine sadly observes Alex and Betty. The heroine decides to go private with Greg. The guy desperately pretends to be experienced in night games. The night with him does not impress Rosie. Besides, she realizes that the rubber band is left inside. The heroine tries to cope with the resulting problem, but she cannot succeed. Then Rosie calls a friend and tries to explain to him what happened by hints, and Alex takes her to the hospital. The doctor turns out to be a man, which also adds to the stress. Alex drives the heroine home and offers to go to college together. The guy plans to go to Harvard to study law, and Rosie offers to take courses in hotel business at Boston College. The heroine gladly agrees to his proposal. Rosie tries to talk to her parents about it. Instead of condemnation, Dennis, the girl's father, supports Rosie and her dream of a hotel. Soon the heroine receives a long-awaited letter and realizes that she has entered college. Overjoyed by the news, Rosie runs to Alex's house. However, her sister stops her, warning her that the guy is busy. It turns out that right at this moment he is having fun with Bethany. Suddenly Rosie becomes ill and vomits into Alex's friend's purse. The heroine heads to the drugstore as she is depressed by the nausea. A rather extravagant saleswoman named Ruby clarifies the other symptoms and gives Rosie a pregnancy test. The heroine realizes she is expecting a baby. A frustrated Rosie returns home and writes to Alex. However, the guy can't meet as he is going with Betty and her parents to a restaurant. The heroine gets angry and writes an angry message, but then deletes it. Rosie cries alone in her room, realizing that her dreams for the future have been shattered. The next day, the heroine meets Alex at a coffee shop. Rosie is ready to tell the unhappy news, but the guy first of all wants to tell about his changes in life. It turns out that Alex was accepted to Harvard. Rosie lies that she did not receive a letter from Boston and does not tell about her pregnancy. A few days later, the heroine accompanies Alex to the airport. During the farewell, the guy gives Rosie a pendant in the form of a globe. Hugging, the heroes almost kiss, but each restrains his impulse. Rosie asks the guy not to forget her and to write to her. The heroine gets closer to Ruby and tells her that she hid the pregnancy so that Alex would not stay for her. The friend offers to give up the baby or give it away. 6 months pass. The mother criticizes Rosie for still not telling Alex about the pregnancy. The heroine is going to give away the newborn and then go to Boston to fulfill her dream. However, Rosie becomes more and more attached to her pregnancy and even comes up with a name for the baby. Finally, labor comes. Rosie decides to hold her daughter in her arms and realizes that she is ready to take care of her on her own. Sleepless nights begin, full of care for Katie. Rosie develops rules for taking care of her daughter. Do not feed her in public places, do not rock on her lap after eating, do not cry when she cries, remember that danger lurks at every turn. Walking with Katie, the heroine suddenly notices Betty. The girl begins to ask Rosie about the baby. The heroine lies that she works as a nanny, and from further conversation she is saved by Kathy. Soon Alex visits Rosie. The heroine tries to hide the baby's things from him. However, it does not help because the guy has already found out about everything from Betty. Rosie tells him that Greg has run away to Ibiza after finding out about the baby. Alex offers to become a godfather for Katie. Heroes again spend time together, after which the guy leaves to study in Boston. Returning, Alex sits sadly in a bar. A pretty girl named Sally approaches him. Soon Alex begins to live together with her, continuing to keep in touch with the heroine. 5 years pass. Rosie moves out of her parents' house, continues to raise Katie, and gets a job at a hotel. However, she becomes not a manager, but a simple maid. Cleaning the room, Rosie discovers a magazine with a candid photo of Betty on the cover. The heroine is angry and throws it in the basket. At the beginning of the school year, Katie visits Rosie in her bedroom. However, the heroine ends up chained to the bed by an amorous policeman. There is no way to free herself, so Rosie takes her daughter to school with part of the bed dangling from her arm. Meanwhile, at dinner, Alex talks about his dream in which he was a flying arrow. Sally can't understand his metaphors and thinks the guy should see a psychologist. The couple quarrels and Alex leaves home. Rosie is spending time at the beach with her daughter when she gets a text from the guy. The heroine reacts more kindly to the dream and Alex asks her to come over as he missed her. Rosie gladly agrees and she is dropped off at the airport by Ruby, with whom they have become quite close. In Boston, the heroine has fun with Alex as she did years ago. They attend a pool party, dancing, chatting, and walking around the night city. Already at dawn, Alex leads the heroine to the lawn in front of his university. Rosie almost kisses the guy, but he pulls away at the last moment. Sally does not react very positively to the heroine's arrival. At dinner, she announces that she and Alex are expecting a baby. Later, because of Rosie's innocent laughter, Sally overturns the tablecloth and dishes. The heroine goes with Alex and the others to the vernissage of artist Herb. Rosie calls his work bullshit and leaves. The heroine has an argument with Alex, who catches up with her, especially after learning that he didn't tell her about the baby so as not to offend Rosie. The guy says that at least his baby will have both parents. Rosie cries and asks that the next time Alex is empty and sad inside, he should not call her and comfort himself in this way. The heroine returns home and decides to make a drastic change in her life. Rosie writes Greg a letter and attaches a drawing of Katie to it. When the man arrives, it seems to the heroine that she made a mistake. Rosie gets angry when Greg calls himself a father or compliments her. The heroine decides to give him one chance, but even then not for herself, but only for the sake of Katie. Alex's words about one parent hurt her. Greg enjoys spending time with his daughter, gives her gifts. Katie finally has a real family, ready to surround her with love and support. Soon the heroine gets closer to Greg and realizes that she likes him. Ruby criticizes her friend for this decision. But Rosie says that she is tired of waiting and wants a relationship and warmth. Soon Alex receives an invitation to the wedding of Greg and the heroine. Together with Dennis, Rosie goes to the olotry, and the flowers in front of her are scattered by Katie. Alex never appears at the wedding but sends his sister instead. Soon the newlyweds move into a new house. Alex also leaves his apartment and does not look very happy. Having cooled down, Rosie calls Sally and finds out that she broke up with her boyfriend. As they talk, the girl's water breaks. Rosie writes to Alex and apologizes for not answering for a long time. The guy tells her that Sally cheated on him with Herb and the baby is probably his. Alex lies that he wasn't ready to be a father anyway and looks longingly at the fully furnished nursery. Another 5 years pass. Rosie quarrels with Katie, who has already turned into a teenager, and sees her parents off to a resort in Nice. At work, the heroine meets Bethany, who has become a famous model. Rosie advises her to tip Alex in Boston and gives her the address. Soon the heroine receives a call from her mother. However, instead of describing the resort, the woman gives the bad news: Dennis has left this world. Alex comes to say goodbye to him. The guy hugs and comforts Rosie, but he is snapped at by Greg, who almost does not care about his wife's feelings. Before leaving, Alex writes a touching letter for the heroine. Greg hides it after finding it in the mail. Rosie also receives one last letter from her father. Dennis writes that he is proud of the kind of mother and woman his daughter has become. He advises not to forget about his dreams and believes that everything will definitely work out for Rosie. The heroine is going to sell the house and buy her own small hotel. Katie supports her, thinking it's a terrific idea. Alex asks if Rosie is happy with Greg, and the girl gives a generalized statement. Ruby finds Greg's reservation for the honeymoon suite. Rosie thinks she's in for a surprise. However, a call from Greg shatters this illusion. The man says he will stay late at work. The heroine breaks up with a man. Rosie finds Alex's letter proposing to become a couple. The heroine instantly writes to the guy, but sees Bethany in a video call and learns of their imminent wedding. Rosie gets upset and thinks that all is lost. But Ruby changes the heroine's mind. Together with the heroine in Boston flies Kathy and her friend Toby. The flight is delayed, and Rosie arrives after the end of the ceremony, not having time to interrupt it. The heroine makes a touching toast to her love. Toby kisses Katie, who pushes him away and runs away. Alex notices this and calms the girl, saying that pushing away someone you love can ruin someone else's life, and your own too. Katie reconciles with Toby, and Rosie finds out that she kissed Alex and hurt him badly when she asked him to forget everything. The heroine returns home and opens her hotel. Alex arrives on opening day and tells her that he broke up with Bethany. The heroes finally find each other and embrace. This is the end of the movie. Thank you all for watching this video to the end. Give this video a like. Write in the comments what you think about this movie, and see you in new videos.